Welcome, Aquarians, to your February 2021 reading. Thank you so much for tuning in, and happy birthday to all you Aquarians born in February. Now, this is going to be quite an interesting month for you. But before I get into your reading, I just want everyone to know that I'm still offering free mini readings for all new subscribers. So if you've got a question about this particular reading or something that this reading doesn't cover for you that you'd like to know about, just click the subscribe button and ask your question in the comments section below. Or if you'd like to keep it out of the public forum, you can email me and I'll be happy to answer you in private. Now, just to know that I do get flooded with questions at the beginning of the month, so it might take some time for me to get back to you, but I do get back to everyone who does subscribe and ask a question. Now, this month, wow, the overall theme for this month is new beginnings, new creativity, new growth, and lots of messages. You've got 2 threes, 2 aces, 2 pages. So that's quite interesting for me when that sort of repetitive kind of messages come through. The 2, and the 2. That is also a significant number as well, if any of you are into numerology. But let's get into your first messages. Now, you have the Page of Wands. Now, the Page of Wands, all pages, and as I mentioned, you do have 2, all pages are messages or messengers. So these can represent people in your life. Now, 2 pages, these could be your children, if you have kids, or people that are younger than you, a fire sign, and just to jump ahead, the Page of Cups is a water sign. So fire is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and water is Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. Now, traditionally, I would read the Page of Wands as a Sagittarian, but I always say it's not about the star sign, it's more about the character of the person. So this person, if the page represents a person in your life, this is someone that is very exciting to be around, and they're filled with incredible exuberance and enthusiasm for whatever is about to be undertaken. And the page is always the one that's ready to stand up and be the leader, and be the leader on any sort of creative project in particular. And there's nothing that they aren't willing to try or to become involved in. And they just have this inherent joy about them, and it makes them really a fun person to be around. And their happiness is quite contagious. So if you recognize someone like that in your life, then this person is going to be very significant. I'm feeling this could have something to do with your work or with a creative project that you are commencing. But what the page generally says is that there's really exciting news around you, and there's lots of new opportunities that are going to be presenting themselves, and you might be getting some wonderful information about something that's interesting and creative and really exciting that's coming into your life in February. And this card is quite a creative card itself, and it's kind of saying to you that you've got the ability to think outside the box. And if you do, or if you don't, you should try and think outside the box, because it's going to be very valuable for you in February. And what this card also asks of you is to follow your passions and to let them guide you through your life's work. You know, really listen to that passionate voice inside of you, Aries. I know you've got it in there. You are often all in your head, but because you're an air sign, but you really need to tap into that passion and follow it. And you're really asked to use your kind of own unique brand of magic, so to speak, to bring about your happiness. And what this card can also talk about is some wonderful news about a promotion or a career change or anything new and promising that's developed in your professional life. So that's always wonderful news. But I am seeing quite a significant sort of energy around your work, your career, your income, that sort of stuff. Now, this leads into the Three of Wands, which also is another sort of creative card talking about your work, your passion. And as I mentioned, you've got 2 threes. Now, the threes are those cards of creativity, growth, self-expression, and it can also mean, you know, just on a physical level for some of you, that it's like male and female energy that is giving birth to a new project. So you could be working with other people in quite a tight-knit little group, and you are going to be really good at what you do. You're experienced, you've got skill, and you're going to be putting that energy into some really good work at, or as a, if you're not employed, this is your own creative project. Now, the threes talk about making decisions based on your goals. So if you've got this it's asking you to really see clearly and make decisions based on your goals and where it is you want to go. And if this is to do with your work, make decisions on how you want the job to be done and how you want it to go. But the Three itself talks about, the Three of Wands talks about a time to really pause and reflect. And, you know, it seems as if you've had quite a few successes to date, and they've really been uplifting and encouraging for you. But not all the rewards for your efforts have yet been presented. So really, it's a message that your ships are going to be coming in. So if you feel that you haven't actually attained what it is you were planning or hoping for, when you get the Three of Wands in a reading, it's telling you that don't worry, because you've put in that hard work and you are going to be getting what it is that you want. Your ships will come in. And so you don't really have to wait around. You can actually start planning the next phase, because you know, you can just rest assured that they will be coming in. The things that you put that hard effort and energy into are going to be showing rewards for you very, very soon. And you can sort of now be really, you're in that position where you can actually be thinking about what is it that you want to create next? What direction do you want to go in next? And how will you expand on your previous successes? So it's really time to sort of gaze out onto the horizon, just like the person in the Three of Wands is doing there. Gaze out far into the horizon and dream big dreams, because you've kind of attained what it is that you were searching for. And if like I said, if it hasn't shown itself to you now, your ships are coming in. And that's interesting because it leads right on to the Ace of Pentacles. And as I said, you've got two aces as well. Aces are those cards of new beginnings, fresh new ideas, new opportunities. And the Ace of Pentacles, I absolutely love it. You see the hand of God there with a big pentacle giving you that wonderful abundance. And the Ace of Pentacles is such a positive card. It really talks about an inflow of abundance from the universe, and it can be quite unexpected as well. So often we think about abundance as referring to financial prosperity, but that's not always the case with the Ace of Pentacles. This can be in the form of money, absolutely, but it can also show up as assistance if you've been desperately needing assistance in your life from others, and it can be wonderful new ideas. And this absolutely ties in with that Ace of Swords because that's what that card talks about. But it's an introduction maybe to someone that can lead you to success. You might be introduced to a person that really clicks, and the two of you can work together to make wonderful things happen for yourself. But the Ace of Pentacles talks about career advancement, a business contract, or even improved health if you haven't been feeling well. So that is just such a lovely card. And again, Ace of Swords, bang, right next to it. And this again is a wonderful new opportunity, new ideas, new thoughts. Now, quite often the Ace of Swords in some people can look at it as a little bit of a challenging card because the Ace is that card of the truth. And the truth comes in and cuts away all of the BS. And it can be quite shocking when that happens, particularly if perhaps you've been involved in some of the BS. But it just truth can be quite revealing. But this is always for the best for you. The Ace of Swords is another gift from the universe. It's another gift from God. You can see again the hand is coming through the clouds holding that beautiful sword. So what this card can also say is when you run into obstacles, if you have tried to commence anything new, just don't stop trying. Don't think to yourself that, oh, this is a sign I'm not supposed to move forward. It's not like it. That's not what the Ace talks about. It's really saying, if there's bumps along the road, just push forward. Keep going. These are only minor setbacks, and just push forward. And if there are little bumps along the road in any new endeavors that you have been trying to get up and running, it's often for a reason, and you can really know that perhaps it's the universe helping you, because perhaps it just wasn't the right timing. So having that Ace of Swords says, yep, those ideas are wonderful. They are exactly what you should be doing. Don't be deterred by any little setbacks. Keep going. They could be challenges that are there to better prepare you for what's to come. And they're sending you a message really to maybe just make some little course corrections, maybe just change and tweak a few little things. But you are absolutely not to give up. Just keep going. Now, as I mentioned, the Ace of Swords, because it's new beginnings, it can be talking about a new idea or a new revelation, something that just is like an epiphany that comes to you that gives you a better understanding of the situation that you're in and why you're in it and what's happening, what's going on, because of any little setbacks that you may have had. Now, you've got the King of Cups there. Now, you could potentially have a Cancer in your life, but this is any water sign. Again, as I mentioned, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Now, I'm feeling there could be a little bit of heartbreak regarding this person in February, or there could even be a little bit of illness. But that's just a side note for some of you. But the King of Cups is, I'll give you, as always, it's not about the star sign, it's about the character of the person. So the King of Cups is quite a committed romantic partner, and they give their heart and their time in equal measure. So if you've got this person in your life, it's actually they're quite a lovely person. They're quite spiritual as well, and they're really willing to work hard for those who are having difficult times. So that they're a good person to have in your corner. And they're really good at charity. And I do actually see that you've got the charity card there, which is the Six of Pentacles. So you could be working with this person in a charitable way, or donating money. But they've always got a kind word for everyone, and they expect others to do the same as well. So when you're around this person, they want you to be kind as well. They want you to reflect the way they think and the way they feel about certain situations. So if you've kind of got something unkind to say about someone, it's probably best not to say it around this person because they might chastise you about it. But they're such a wonderful person, and deeply caring as well. I mean, they do have a little bit, everybody has their negative traits as well. They can be a little bit blunt and a bit cruel sometimes, but that's not their intention. That's just the way it's coming across sometimes. But what the King is actually saying is that this really is a time to open up your heart and show compassion for those around you. You're really asked to open your mind as well to new ideas and creative ways of thinking, because the King is that watery, emotional sign. They're quite creative as well. And it's like you're being called upon to provide some time and some money to a charitable organisation, because they are very much like that as well. And I do feel like some of you will potentially be doing that in February. Now, when it comes to relationships with other people, the King of Cups really represents those people that you can fully trust. And his heart is absolutely golden, and he operates with the highest degree of integrity. So you really need to make sure that you are also operating with the highest degree of integrity, because it won't wash if you're not. But I feel like when that King is in your spread, it's such a wonderful person to have in your life. And this could potentially, as I said, be someone that is related to your work. You might have this person coming into your life, or it could be a partner that you are involved with. Now, the Three of Swords here. Now, the Three of Swords, again, another three, but this can be quite a challenging card. Now, it indicates moments that are filled with sadness. And when this card shows up in your life, in your reading, it could be that something in your life needs to be healed. Now, I do for some reason feel this, just also because of the proximity of the card, but I feel this could be related to that King of Cups. So there could be something there that needs healing. Now, you might have suffered a loss somehow related to this particular person, or something that you've lost together. Or it could be that you are haunted by pain from the past that could be related to this person as well. But what the ace, what's the sorry, stuttering there. What the Three of Swords is really talking about is how to recover from sorrow, and what that the only things really that allow you to recover from sorrow is time and forgiveness. So some experiences just take a lot of time to heal from, and it's really time, it's it's best for you to allow yourself time to overcome any issues that you might have. And this also talks about forgiveness of yourself as well as other people. And it's really saying, it's important to forgive, to be able to find those steps to regain that happiness that you once had. This, as I briefly touched on, this can mean that there is some illness there for some of you. I mean, this can be as simple as a broken heart, but it's definitely time in February to start to heal some of that stuff that perhaps you could be hanging on to with this water sign that is around you. Now, the Six of Pentacles is that next card. So I'm feeling abundance is good for you. Finances, you're doing quite well in February. And as I also touched on before, sorry to keep repeating myself, this is that card of charity. Now, you could potentially be the one who is being charitable, or people are giving you charity, they're being quite generous. And this card also mentions again that prosperity is entering your life in all forms as well. So this can be an increase in salary due to some wonderful work that you've done. And it also is the card of positive thinking that has brought it's brought about a time of abundance, this new time of abundance for you in your life. And it's also a card about paying off your debts as well. So if you've been in debt, February, you're really getting on top of those sorts of things, and you're able to pay off a lot of your debts. And this is also in the form of favors. So if someone has helped you out in the past, not necessarily with money, but helped you out with a favor, you are able to repay those favors as well, or eliminate kind of any obligations you have to anyone else. And it's a card about giving thanks. So if you're in a really good position in your life, make sure you're really thankful for it. And if you're in a position, you can be charitable as well. Make sure you're not giving your money away if you don't have it. That's not a message I feel coming through. Now, also, this is just a side note for some people. The Six of Pentacles can be people stealing from you as well. And just because it's next to the Three of Swords there, I'm feeling that maybe some of you need to really be careful that people aren't stealing things from you, and that is quite heartbreaking. But that is definitely just a message for some. It's a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Now, your final card is that Page of Cups. And what a wonderful card. You might be getting lots of love messages, lots of romantic little messages from your sweetheart. But this is always a card that is quite exciting, and it's like, and there could potentially be a new romance or a new relationship for some of you. This could be with that King of Cups, or definitely even a fire sign, but it can be just your relationship, your own relationship, just moving on to that next level. You could potentially be getting married, getting engaged. You may be just feeling a deeper, more intimate connection with your partner. And if you have had any heartbreak or issues with that person, things are definitely going to be healing. And also, the page sort of, it's just about pages. As I did mention, the pages are messengers or messages, and this can just mean sort of communication that is quite emotional. And you might be getting, sitting down and just having those wonderful, lovely, intimate conversations with your other half. Or you could be getting, as I mentioned, little love letters, or any type of quite emotional communication. But these are also when the sorry, I'm stuttering here trying to find my words. Pages of any water sign really is quite intuitive, so you might even be getting some new psychic experiences. Or if you yourself have psychic gifts, this card is right underneath that Ace of Swords, which talks about new inspiration, new ideas. So you could be getting some sort of message that comes through to you that is quite intuitive, quite psychic. So be really attentive to any of those kind of ideas, dreams, thoughts that come into your mind in February. Now, your final card is Standing Firm. This is one of the Gateway Oracle cards by Denise Lynn. I absolutely love this deck. The imagery, although simple, is quite wonderful for just getting intuitive messages from as well. So if you just look at the imagery, it does lend itself to messages coming through. Now, I'm going to read from the book. Now, the affirmation for this particular card is, I am noble, brave, and strong. And you are Aquarians. All the Aquarians I know certainly are. So stand up for yourself and don't back down is the message of this card. And stand up for those who can't protect themselves. Believe in yourself and hold firm to what you know to be true. You are a force for good. The universe wants you to know there are times to step down and times to negotiate, but this situation doesn't pertain to those. You need to hold high the banner of truth, grace, and compassion. Honor your values without denying the values of others. Remember what is truly important in life and let go of everything else. That is actually quite a wonderful message, Aquarians. So I hope that resonated with you. Have a wonderful, wonderful February. And as I said, happy birthday. If you're into crystal jewelry, check out my website at kazana.com.au. These are all one-off pieces. I'm just going to let that phone ring out. These are all one-off pieces and all handmade in Australia by an Australian designer. Have a wonderful month, Aquarians. See you next month. Bye.